Hi guys, this is Ratchet Throw and we are playing Criminal Case Elite Mode. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for supporting this series even though I finished Criminal Case a while back. So also I don't want my channel to be only for Criminal Case, so it's why I now upload some FIFA 22 videos and I hope you guys love it even though I don't comment in the background. So alright, so I looked at your suggestions, guys, and we're gonna do case 56 for the next 4 videos, so let's get into it. Well, I think I've almost done all of the finale cases of all seasons, so let this be the one as well. Need to forget who's the killer. This is the major case. It all comes down to this. Fucking Sombra. The weak die, it's the nature's way. El Rey. Okay. Let's get in. Kathia, I can't believe you're finally done with Sombra. After all this time, it's over. El Rey's in prison and his plans have failed. We won. A part of me is sad Chief Ripley's not here with us celebrating. But on the other hand, it was her mistakes that allowed Sombra to flourish. Oh right, I forgot about that. I just did. The CIA never should have made a deal with Sombra to use them as a convenient enemy. But Ripley tried to right her wrongs by creating the Bureau. And of course she stood down and left now that Sombra's done. I never get tired of hearing the words Sombra's done. We can finally move on with our lives. Katrina, everyone, wait! Put down your drinks. The President of the United States. He's been kidnapped. Oh! What do you mean the President's been kidnapped? I mean, someone snatched him off his plane in New York. Katrina, this must be El Rey's doing. Putting him in jail doesn't stop his attack on the president. He must have had a backup plan. That's why he was so cheerful at his trial. I knew stopping Sombra couldn't be this easy. Katrina, this is a disaster. The press can't hold the news and people are panicking. If we don't find the president soon and alive, we'll have chaos on our hands. The FBI have already swept Air Force One. But I got permission for us to take another look. Let's go now. We'll find a lead even if we have to turn the plane upside down. Let's go, Katrina. This is going to be the most important case of our careers. Yeah. And I just remembered, we already tried to warn the president about Sombra, but he didn't listen. And then we went into Canada to talk with was he the Prime Minister? I think he was, but then he got killed by El Rey himself, and all right, USA here left the UN, and there's going to be chaos here. And chaos there. Oh, and nobody here. Nobody died. This volatile class looks familiar. You're right, Katrina. The President Heaven was wearing it when we met him at Camp Rushmore. The class wasn't falling out during his struggle with whoever took him. Let's dust it for prints. And this clock looks nice, but I don't know what you think it's going to... Well, you're right, this lens definitely is a part of the clock's mechanism. This must be a hidden camera. And I would have realized that immediately if I turned the clock around, like you did. Sorry, Katrina, the stress must be getting to me. Just relax. If we're lucky, the cameras record the president as kidnapping. Let's unlock it at once. Okay. Let's unlock the screen behind the clock first. And whoever put this there had to be very, very close to president, so... Nah. This one. Alright, what do we have? Press play. Katrina, the footage of this hidden camera might tell us who kidnapped President Hewitt and whether he left the plane alive. Let's press play. Okay? My dear, I'm tired of arguing with you. And there are days when I'm tired of you. Look at yourself. I'd make a better president than you any day of the week. Now you're being too harsh. I'm still the president, and I deserve your respect. And I deserve so much more than just being your wife. Oh, the first lady. That camera didn't capture the kidnapping, but it did record the president arguing with his wife. You met the first lady at Camp Rushmore, didn't you? What was she like? I don't remember. You found proof she was having an affair? Oh right, I forgot about that. So she was cheating on her husband, and she clearly doesn't think much of him as a president. Good, it's time to have a chat with the first lady. Alright, oof. I just keep talking to figures of authorities, I don't like it. Alright, now this eagle. Fingerprints. What do we have here? Consider the fingerprints swiped off the princess's tie class could tell us who kidnapped him. Let's check the database. Yeah. Let's first identify this fingerprint before talking to the first lady. I want to know who was on the plane, and I think I already know who's going to come. Yep, I knew he was going to come. It's Baxter. The fingerprints of the princess's tie clasp belong to Baxter Fraser? As in the Baxter Fraser who was a genetically enhanced SOMBRA recruit? Yeah, that one. Well, I saw Baxter on SOMBRA's secret island. Back then, he seemed to have turned against SOMBRA. But finding him where the president was kidnapped can't be a coincidence. He must still be working for El Rey. We need to talk to Baxter immediately. Yes. Yeah, what are you doing here, buddy? Alright, let's go to the first lady first. Commander Katrina, I hope you're doing all you can to find my husband. Oh, funny you care about him. We are, ma'am. And it's good to hear you're concerned given how angry you were at him. We have evidence of your fight. And what? Do you imagine I kidnapped poor Jim because of it? Don't be ridiculous. I'm the first lady of the United States. Wherever I think of my husband as a man, I know he's a person of great strategic importance to my country. Not to be blunt, but you telling him he wasn't fit to be president wasn't exactly respectful. Enough! James's kidnapping is an act of war against the US, and you will find the culprits faster if you don't jump at shadows and accuse me, of all people. Commander Katir will accuse whoever they need in order to get at the truth, Mrs. Hewitt. And no murder occurred so far. I mean, we haven't found a body or anything. Okay. Baxter. Baxter, you better come clean. Where's the president? We found your fingerprints on his belongings. Commander Katrina, it's not what you think, I swear. I'm the president's bodyguard. Don't lie to us. How would you ever get the job? Or pass the background checks? I saved his life. He was giving a speech and there was a guy with a gun anyway. I have super strength and I got to him before anyone else did. The president decided to hire me. He said his favorite Secret Service guy had died recently, and I wanted to do good with my powers. If this is your idea of protecting the president, I didn't kidnap him. I'm not working for SOMBRA anymore. You have to believe me. Commander Katrina only has to believe evidence, and it's not looking good for you, Baxter. We're taking you into custody. Alright. Katrina, every possibility bring us closer to disaster. The president's been gone for hours. What if Sombra's already killed him? Then why kidnap him? After all, nobody's asked for a ransom, and assassinating him was exactly what Elray planned to do. The US is already in political turmoil, which Sombra clearly plans to take advantage of, and the US's fate will affect the whole world. I wish we could get the plan details out of Elray, but he's just going to gloat at us. We can't waste any time. Katrina, come quick! An unmarked van has just dumped a body at Times Square. What? Katrina, we need to get to Times Square. Now. Okay. Now we have a murder on our hands. Are we? Given how we started this case. Oh, can't click on her yet. She's out of the list. Hang it there, bitch. I know who you are. Traitor. Betrayal. And you work for Sombra as well. It's Natasha. Oh, thank God. The body is the president, sis. I fear the worst when we were called out here. But you're right, we know this woman. This is Natasha Romanova. She worked for Sombra back in Russia. She had a cause for us, and you put her behind bars when she launched Sombra's satellite in Kazakhstan. Oh God, what about Marina? I know they didn't get along, but Natasha was still her mom. This is going to be tough. You're right, Taria, we need to focus on the body. Looks like Natasha's throat was slit with that letter opener. That's our murder weapon. Wait, I recognize the coat of arms on this thing. It's a symbol of the US presidency. Oh. The only way Natasha could have come in contact with this letter opener is if she took part in the kidnapping. Yep. But she's dead now and the president's still missing. Which means whoever killed her must have been involved in the kidnapping too. And that kill still has the president captive. We gotta get the letter opener to Lars. Hopefully it'll shed some light on what happened here. All of Times Square is overturned. The place must have been packed earlier when the body was dropped. What we need is a witness. And if searching through that lunch can give us that witness, so be it. Let's do this. Katrina, we don't know who killed Natasha, but we know one thing. The president is in more danger than ever. Oh my God. Alright, 36 hours for the body and 6 hours for the weapon. Okay, now let's look through this lunch. Oh, I feel sorry for whoever was eating this that he didn't finish. It's a burger after all. Okay, we have a phone. Jackpot. Whoever lost their phone in this pile of food must have been here when Natasha's body was dumped. Let's unlock the phone quick. Okay. Alright. What? It looks like it was going to fit well. Anyway. Ah, Pulitzer. The Journalist Award. And who are you, buddy? Katrina, I know the man on this phone screen. I used to work with him when I was a journalist. It's Rick Murray, a fellow investigative reporter. Where could I go way back? He actually helped me out with my Pulitzer-winning piece. It'll be nice to see him again. Except you're right, we need to ask Rick what he saw when Natasha's body was dumped here. Let's go, Katrina. Alright. Hello, dude. Did you see something? Carmen Martinez, as I live and breathe. Good to see you again, old girl. Crazy times, huh? The president kidnapped. What a news day. Hi, Rick. Commander Katia would like to question you about what you saw here earlier. Man, it's been intense. I was interviewing people on the street, getting reactions to the president's kidnapping. And then, bam! Unmarked van rushes by, drops corpse, bloodied weapon. Police swarm in, people panic. Did you see who dropped the body? Girl, if I had it already be front page news. Instead, we've just got Russians involved in the president's kidnapping. I gotta say, getting abducted is Hewitt's best move in years. You should see the hit count on our news page. Your hit count? Is that what you're worried about, Rick? It's the US president we're talking about. You say president, I say walking embarrassment. I won't miss Hewitt's incompetence, and the kidnapping drama is great for business. Oof, I don't like him. What happened to Natasha? Katrina, I can't believe the president's been kidnapped, and now Marina's mom is dead. Poor Marina is holed up in her office. I tried to bring her some tea, but she said she wasn't ready to talk. The news channels are saying that if the former conspiracy head took part in the kidnapping, the Russians must be behind it all. Oh, I hate when they just point those things together and connect them. The Russians, more like SOMBRA. Elray had planned this all along. Be that as it may, blood on the back of Natasha's head shows the killer hit her over the head. And then slashed her throat with the letter opener and transported her body to Times Square. Well, no doubt to blame Russians. There were bruises on her body, which Jonas says are consistent with damage from military hand-to-hand combat techniques. Which means that our killer, the person who's got the president, has military training. Thanks, Grace. Wait, Katrina, that's not all. In Natasha's jacket pocket, I found a business card. Probably from someone Natasha met. One, Layla Malek. Oh, Layla Malek? Katrina, she's the UN High Commissioner we met back in Alaska. Yep. How could Natasha, a SOMBRA-affiliated fugitive from jail, have possibly met Layla? Layla had better have a good explanation, Katrina. Yeah. Okay. Now the letter opener, is there something left on it? Katrina, it's mind-boggling that Maria's mom helped kidnap the US president. I know, I wish he had time to go talk to her, but I'm sure Jonas with her. Katrina, given everything, I don't feel like joking. I'd best just tell you what I found on the murder weapon. The blood on the letter opener obviously belongs to Natasha, but more to the point, I also found traces of dust on the handle. The dust had the molecular structure of non-benzodiazepines, meaning sedatives used to treat short-term insomnia. In other words, your killer takes sleeping pills. Katrina, given that this killer also kidnapped the president, no wonder their conscience isn't letting them sleep. Yep. Okay. Well, time to talk to somebody who's most probably higher above me. Miss Malek, we found your business card on Natasha Romanova, one of the president's kidnappers. How did you know her? Commander Katrina, until I saw the news, I had no idea that this Russian diplomat wanted to abduct President Hewitt. This Russian? What? Natasha Romanova's no diplomat. She's affiliated with SOMBRA. What? But her credentials seemed impeccable. Well, what did you expect? Miss Romanova approached me to arrange a meeting between her and President Hewitt to discuss tensions between the US and Russia. So I negotiated for her to meet President Hewitt on Air Force One. Oh dear. And in so doing, you put the president in danger. We know Natasha had an accomplice who later killed her. Maybe that was you, Miss Malek. I never meant for any of this to happen, Commander Katerina. I only wanted to promote peaceful dialogue between the US and Russia. I hope for your sake that it's true, or you'll end up promoting peaceful dialogue between yourself and your prison wardens, Miss Malek. And we already figured out that day that SOMBRA sneaked into the UN. Well, we found one guy who sneaked in, if I can call it sneaking. Katerina, have you found the president? Not yet. Unfortunately not, but we did find a body, and the victim is Natasha Romanova, who we arrested for helping SOMBRA back in Russia. Given that Natasha was killed with the president's old letter opener, she was clearly part of the kidnapping. But why was her body dumped at Times Square, with the murder weapon next to it? It's like SOMBRA wants everyone to know Natasha was involved. Or maybe to know that Russia was involved. And now that people know that, the rumor was spread that the Russian government is behind the abduction. This must be what El Rey aimed for. Pin the blame on the Russians, anger the US, and trick the country into launching the global crisis SOMBRA wants. One thing is certain, whoever killed Natasha still has the president. We have to find this killer, and quick. And I hope you do find him, Katerina. My mother was like a stranger to me. Her death is still a shock. It's okay to grieve, Flufflebun. I know it's okay, Jonah. I'm the psychologist here. And, Katerina, please let me know if I can do anything to help you find the president. Oh dear, what do you want, guys? You can do something right this moment. FBI, put your hands in the air. Marina Romanova, you're under arrest. Oh please, no! This is why I hate a bit of FBI. They're too direct. They don't, they just look at the big picture. They don't explore all the details that they need. Alright, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna continue playing in chapter 2. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like to this video, and I'll see you again. Goodbye!